is going to happen, especially with Parliament now calling into question. Now let's bring you back to a story that we talked about earlier with Dr. Fred Matiang'i, who appeared before the DCI offices this morning. Matiang'i rose to be the most powerful cabinet secretary in retired President Uhuru Kenyatta's government. He held key top government jobs, finishing his tour of duty at the powerful Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government. And at one point, he was handed over the job of supervising the other ministries, giving him an automatic ear to the president and unfettered access to the head of state. Matiang'i, who succeeded the late General Joseph Nkaissery, however, has not had peace of mind since he left office. Some are calling it a witch hunt, while others say this is a call for accountability. But which really is it? Here is Ken Bijungu exploring that.
Today's appearance at the Directorate of Criminal Investigations is perhaps one of the few scenarios that never played in Fred Matiang'i's mind at the end of his term. He could never have foreseen this time that he would have had to honor summons from an institution he presided over for more than half a decade. Matiang'i was the unlikeliest candidate for police summons. Sitting before his juniors to answer questions touching on his integrity must have been the hardest thing the former powerful cabinet secretary has had to do so far.
There's no reason why we shouldn't.
He earned the name Mr. Fix-It from his reputation, having begun at the relatively powerful Ministry of ICT, where he presided over digital migration that was forced down the throat of the media industry literally. This would also be the time Kenyans came face to face first with his uncompromising nature. Pleas from the industry players fell on deaf ears and Matiang'i got his way. This was just the beginning. The president, who had tapped him from the academia, began noticing his abilities.
Will drive migration towards analog signal switch off in the shortest time possible.
Matiang'i will then be tested further. He will double up as the CS Lands when Charity Ngilu was bundled out of office on account of impropriety allegations. During his tenure at the Ministry of Lands, he was credited with championing for Kihiu Mwiri settlers to be issued title deeds. He also ended the power tussle pitting the Ministry of Lands against the National Lands Commission.
We'll bring an end to all these issues about the integrity of records and the management system.
From then on, Matiang'i, no-nonsense, tough-speaking, hardliner reputation began building and showing. Soon, he would head the Ministry of Education, where he is credited with championing change. He ended cheating in schools. 100% transition was initiated, which saw more and more students and pupils go to school. But there was a downside to it. The teachers' unions were dissipated systematically, and soon the voice of teachers weakened that they couldn't hold against the Uhuru government. Matiang'i yet again got his way.
I have taken this morning the decision to appoint Dr. Fred Matiang'i as the acting Minister for Internal Security.
But if his story must be told and an accurate account of his time in the Uhuru government given, it will be one informed by a misfortune that struck the heart of Maasai land, the untimely demise of then Interior Cabinet Secretary Joseph Ole Nkaissery. Months shy of the 2017 general election, Matiang'i yet again was the favorite of the president. He was elevated to the Minister of Interior in acting capacity. By far the most powerful cabinet position in any government, he hit the road running. The battle lines that were drawn well in advance became more clear. Sides were taken, decisions were made, some of them landing Matiang'i to his current predicament. Since Ruto took over, his allies have not shied away from throwing jabs, castigating Matiang'i and reminding him who is in charge. The opposition believe it is witch hunt and settling of old scores. The government says Matiang'i is shadow boxing and need to be accountable. The DCI is investigating the publishing of false statement. The EACC wants to know his economic growth post-appointment in 2013.
Now, the Mary University has reopened